South Carolina Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace joins us now. She's a member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. The president has promised swift and severe sanctions if Russia invades. There are many who say, why wait? Why not put the sanctions on him now and let him start to feel the pain? Maybe he'll think twice about an invasion. Your thoughts on that, Congresswoman?
Right. If we were going to hold sanctions with our allies, we should have done it already. It's past time to have taken that kind of action. But once again, the United States and the Biden administration are leading from behind. We saw during Obama's tenure, he gave away Crimea without consequences. And it's no surprise 10 years later now to see how Biden botched Afghanistan, crushing our abandonment of Afghanistan and the way that we left, leaves our country vulnerable with Putin. He would love nothing more to toy with Biden. He's doing that now in order to reconstitute the USSR. And what we've done is not done enough. And whether or not you agree Ukraine should be in NATO or not, I don't believe it's worth one drop of American blood.
Well, the president came into office having spent 30 or something years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He said he was the old hand, knew all the world leaders by name. Why is Putin testing him?
Well, he's definitely weak on the world stage if you look at how he's operated, whether we're talking about China's aggression, writing a memo a few months ago, slapping China on the hand, not investigating them with regards to how he botched up Afghanistan. It shows he doesn't have the leadership to pull our allies together. He hurt our relationship with our NATO allies during Afghanistan as well. And we're showing a lot of weakness on the world stage, and that's why we're so vulnerable. This didn't happen under the Trump administration. This happened under Obama's tenure and now the Biden administration. And we're seeing that, here today as this unfolds in Ukraine.
Well, also under the Trump administration, there was U.S. weaponry sent to Ukraine. Is that going to make a difference here? Is it perhaps part of the reason that that Putin has held off until now?
It certainly would make the situation, if it escalates, deadlier with the weapons that Ukraine has. But obviously, deterrence and de-escalation here. And you look at Putin has been building up his war chest over the last several years. We have an opportunity, unilateral sanctions from the U.S. has not worked so far. We've got to work with our European allies. We've got to increase the United States exports of fossil fuels and petroleum, natural gas, et cetera, and reduce our imports of Russia. Fossil fuels, but our European allies should join us in that. We got to hurt Putin. We got to hit him where it hurts, and that's one way to do that.
Well, much of his market is in Western Europe. That's who he sells a lot of his oil and gas to. They can't exactly just turn off their taps and say we're not going to buy from you anymore, Vladimir, can they?
Certainly, it's complicated, but over 50% of Russia's exports go to our European allies, and about 40% of their imports come from Russia. Which is why the U.S. should take a stronger stance on bringing our allies together and increasing our exports. We're importing more Russian oil here today than we have in many, many years. And we are greater net exporters under the Trump administration than under the Biden administration today. There are things that we can do, but you look at Biden has stifled, look at the cost of gas and fuel when you go to fill up your car at the gas station. What we're doing isn't working. And certainly Russia and Putin is not taking us seriously.
Yeah, when the price of a barrel of oil goes up over $65, Vladimir Putin starts making real money. It wasn't that long ago that the U.S. was the world's biggest oil producer. And in those days, prices were low. Vladimir Putin was in the poorhouse.
And we're adding to his war chest, right, and to his militarization. The more money he makes in oil and gas, the more money he has for his military and to be aggressive. And I know you mentioned earlier the concern for cyber attacks. This is nothing new, right? China and Russia actors have used cyber attacks for years now, and we're unprepared to handle it. We're behind the times and leading from behind, and we've got to lean in and be and push back on these things and have the technology. I think the cybersecurity is the next war front that we're going to have, and we've got to do a better job when handling this kind of aggression, not only domestically but abroad too.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.